Hello, dear friends. We are back again with part 2. We are with our celebrity and guest, Mr. Alok Dheer, who's been contributing so much to different countries in different capacities. He's been working for almost 4 decades, that is 40 years, 40 plus years, and intends to do much more for India and the world as well. Let's get to know more about our celebrity and guest in part 2. Join us, friends. Dear sir, we'd like to know now from you as to what type of a change you would like to see in the world. You've been seeing a lot of ups and downs, the good and the bad, the ugly and the beautiful. Now, what type of a change you would love to see now in the world, and in which area?
When I try to look into the future, sometimes I get scared. This artificial intelligence, the potential it brings is amazing. I mean, it will help us deliver far beyond our own capabilities. At the same time, machines, if we are unable to control them, and they become more intelligent than us, because a machine, it's data driven. It's any AI model is data driven. A machine or a computer can assimilate much more data than a human mind. So maybe 10 years down the line, machines are going to outthink us. It scares me as to what it is going to be. What I look at as I look into the future is the positive impact of artificial intelligence. I can only dream about it. It's like I'm a customer. Before I can express my need, the seller knows this is what I'm going to need, and it is there available to me even before I think about it. Now, this is one of the possibilities. On one side, you look at tall buildings with vertical gardens and clean energy. I'm looking at the positive sides. I'm looking at clean cities. I'm looking at, sanitation where you don't talk about it. It's there. I'm talking about clean drinking water. I dream about people, no one in the world being forced to go to bed hungry. It's a strange world that we live in. Those who have the haves in the world walk because they eat too much to lose weight. The have-nots have to walk because they have no other they can't afford any other means of transport, and they go to bed hungry. My dream is whatever technology that is going to evolve over the next decade or two bridges this gap emotionally, physiologically, spiritually, and intellectually.
Yes, sir, that's really nice. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. So the next question is like something very deep, related to both personal and professional space. Like when was it really necessary for you to put in smart work and hard work? Was it all the way hard work, or was there a combination of smart work and hard work together?
Success always comes through a combination of these two. Now, when you are venturing into an industry for the first time, or when you are taking on a new venture or something innovative, it begins with hard work because you learn as you work. Hard work is all about the time, the effort that you put into whatever you do. Smart work is more about strategizing and channelizing your talents, your abilities, your efforts, and that of your team to achieve the desired results more efficiently and more effectively. I think everything begins with hard work. As you learn the nitty-gritties, and then you go over to smart work. Smart work is essential for eventual success, but I think it's a combination.
Yes, I like the way you put it. Start off with hard work and then eventually
learn
to combine smart work.
Yes.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Dear sir, you have given already 40 years, 4 decades into being a professional, and you intend to do more. Have you not ever thought of retirement, that, yeah, now I relax, I just spend time reading a nice book or gardening and spending time just doing nothing, just enjoying good music, good food, and enjoying the beauty of the world?
Do it even now. I do a little bit of gardening. I read whenever I can. I love traveling. Unfortunately, these days, because of the traffic situations, I'm not as much in love with driving as I used to be. I love driving. Mumbai to Delhi, instead of taking a flight or a train, I prefer to drive. I mean, I've enjoyed traveling. I still travel. I'm doing all those things you spoke about. Now, what is retiring? Retiring doesn't mean not working. Retiring means only doing the things you like to do. So I don't think I will ever retire. I like to work. I like my work. I'm passionate about the things I do. And I only do the things I'm passionate about. So I don't think as long as my mental and physical capabilities or facilities remain, I don't think I'm going to retire in the conventional sense. Otherwise, I'm already retired. I only do the things I like to do.
That's nice. A beautiful way to share that. So, what is this concept called Make in India?
Make in India has come in as it was never heard of before. Never heard of before. The present government, I would credit the Prime Minister for conceptualizing this. I'll give you an example. During the British days, during the World War II, India had ordnance factories. India was the largest producer of weapons and arms. Ordnance factories have been set up. About 10, 15 years ago, look at where China has gone. In those days, when India was the biggest arms producer of the world, China was nowhere in the picture. Now, look at the state of our ordnance factories today as an arms producer. I'm just taking this example. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, where were we and where was China? Now, if you're depending on others to protect you in terms of import of weapons or technology or, airplanes or naval ships, it is not security. So the Make in India, the government of India has prohibited import of so many items and said that they must be made in India. Today, orders are being given, say, look at the Rafale planes. They've bought a bunch of planes, and the further manufacturing of this airplanes, it is agreed. It is part of agreement. It is mandated that the further lots will be produced in India. What happens is, Make in India produces jobs, quality jobs in India. It uses Indian talent to create technology, which could be our own. It could lead to self-efficiency in a lot of things. Make in India is a fascinating concept. And if you have noticed where we have moved in the last 15 years or 10 years, 10 years hence, we are going to be major exporters of weapon systems in the world, including missiles, including airplanes. Now, this is going to be a big economic game changer as well. India is the second largest importer of weapons in the world. Imagine the billions of dollars of foreign exchange we spend. 10, 15 years down the line, we are going to import some things that you'll always do, but we are going to be an export surplus nation in this field. Similarly, there are so many other areas like electronics, like computers, like artificial intelligence. A lot of India is keeping pace with the world now. Make in India. You may import because you don't make in India, but don't keep importing. Import till you set up your own capability and manufacturing. I have been enamored and fascinated by this call given by our Prime Minister, Make in India. Now, the products we are dealing with are absolutely high-tech products, half of which the Americans get manufactured in China. So my challenge to them was, I may not be cheaper in terms of manufacturing cost because of so many reasons, but I guarantee you a quality which is better and overall lower costs, because logistics for me to ship things out of the JNPT or Chennai, the ports, is going to be my transport and logistics costs are going to be much lower than shipments from Beijing or Guangzhou or what have you. So I've convinced them And we are already looking around. And I would see I'm not talking of billions of dollars, but maybe about 15, 20 million dollars worth of equipment manufactured in India for supply across the world. That is my eventual dream. In the coming, what, 2 or 3 years?
Yes, sir. That's a beautiful one. It's really something like an eye opener for us to wake up and yes, understand that yes, India could, be at par with the others, contribute very well, or maybe could lead also in certain factors. As you say, India could export it. Than importing, you could export to the world and of course become, India should be developed as quick as possible. We don't want to be known as a developing country. India should be called as a developed country.
See, 5 years back, India had two manufacturers of mobile phones, and 98% of our mobile phones were imported. After 5 years, you're going to be the world's leading producer of cell phones, and call it Apple or call it Samsung. Tomorrow, you're going to be using made in India products. It's something to be proud of.
Very true, sir. Very true. That's really nice. So now there are several seniors. This is of the professional space. It's just a general question for all senior citizens. There are several senior citizens who haven't yet planned for their retirement and already they are on the brink of retirement or already retired with no pennies in their pocket. They have spent all their money that they earned for either their family, their friends, or for the society. They might have spent up everything. They have never thought about themselves. Now, here the question lies, you giving a message to the younger generation to start savings as early as they could. You never know when it is going to be a rainy day or when it's going to be a day of emergency. So what does saving mean to you and how could you share your thoughts and views with regard to savings?
I'll answer your question. I'll use two examples. You see, probably you too, we come from a typical generation where we listened to our parents when we were younger. And today, as we have grown, we are forced to listen to our children. You have never lived for yourself. You have either lived for your parents or you're living for your children. So we are left with hardly any space or money for ourselves. This is a typical situation of the present generation. People becoming senior citizens as defined. A lot of them, I would say 80% of them are going to either already facing or will land up with problems like this. Now, my message to the younger generation, I mean, I'm not going to give any lecture like, okay, they took care of you. See, the difference is we loved and respected our parents because they were parents, not for what they did for us. Today, if you tell your child, listen, I did so much for you as a parent, the answer you will get is that was your duty. You have not done me any favor, right? You've done your duty. Now let me be. Okay, so our generation is a generation which faces a disconnect both ways. We are going to suffer. Many of us are going to suffer. My message to the next generation is, you see, I'll give you an example of insurance. When I'm 25 or 30 years old, I don't need insurance. I can earn. I've got ambitions, plans. I can earn. What has happened is lifespans have increased. The life expectancy in India from a mere 37 years in 1947 is about 65 today. At 20 years down the line, it's expected to cross 80 years. So the lifespan is longer. Like I say, I don't intend retiring in the traditional sense. But the present generation, 30 odd, so Gen Z as you call it, when you talk to them, they say we don't plan to work beyond 50. I mean, you must have heard this, or maybe 55. So the retired lifespan is longer. Today, you ask a 30-year-old, you must take insurance. Now, insurance is not, when I say insurance, people say I'm talking of death. No, it's not death. It is financial planning. Plan 20 years later. Today, they say they don't need it. When they need it, the company does not give you a policy. You're already sick. You're already old. Okay, so they have to start some sort of financial planning. There are a lot of financial planners in this country today. There are global investment opportunities. The young generation has got to learn to balance between, how do I say, safe and risky uh, uh, fixed deposits versus equity, a balanced investment package starting from the age not later than 30. They have to do it. So by the time they are 50, they have something. And as they grow, they have to keep on expanding their basket. Um, in our generation, it was you earn, you spend. Whatever is left, you save. This equation has to change. You earn, you save, and whatever is left, manage your expenses within that. This is all I can tell to the upcoming generation. Our parents lived off fixed deposits for the rest of their lives. They earned 16%, 18% interest. Today we are at 6-7% interest, which is not enough. By the time say my son retires, the interest rate may be zero or maybe negative. The banks will charge you to keep your money for you. This situation will come. So financial planning has to come. You earn, you save. Whatever is left, you manage your expenses from that. This has to be the new mantra, the new equation by which our generation should go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for taking out the time to explain with regard to savings and financial planning and with, the connect to insurance and all of that. You've given that very well. You've explained that very well. You've given a very clear concept. Thank you so much. So, a very personal question. Like we are approaching Valentine's Day in a day or two. Do you believe in love or respect? Which one oversees the other? Is it love comes first or respect? What's it?
The two cannot be separated. There cannot be love without respect. There can be respect without love, but there can never be love without respect. If I love, okay, my wife, I love my wife. But it goes without saying that if I don't respect her, the love is incomplete. So love cannot go without respect. Respect can go without love.
This is a big message for everyone. You put that so sweetly, and very nicely you put that. So it's a big message for everyone. It's not only love that we require, it's the respect that is there in the relationship. No matter which relationship it could be, the respect comes first for that person and then followed by love.
See, when you are young, it is all love. But as you age, respect takes precedence. It's respect. Without respect, there can be no love.
Very true, sir. Very true. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. Dear sir, would you like to mention your best friends, their names here today, that these were the friends who have stood by you? You said that you are still connected with your friends who were in school. Would you like to share their names or would you like to speak about friendship?
Ma'am, I'm scared to take names because of the fear of missing out some.
Yeah, very true. I get that.
So it's unfair for me to take certain names. I can venture into taking some names of my friends from abroad because I don't know, they may or may not see this, so it's okay. My friend from Tampa, Florida, we met in course of our respective professions. In the war area. He is a retired Marine, U.S. Defense Forces, and we are the best of friends. And he is somebody we have kept in touch. We came back to India about 10 years ago, and then maybe for 20 years we've kept in touch. And he flew down to India last year just to see me. Then we spent some time together talking about his business, his project, and we decided to tie. Dennis Schmidt is one of my best buddies from Tampa, Florida. Then in Uganda, there is this person who, whatever happens every day, every little thing, he has to call me and tell me about it, even today. Mr. James Mugisha from Uganda is another person I would like to name here. And I would not like to venture into naming any of my friends locally for fear of missing out. so I would not name them. But if anybody is watching or is going to watch later, hats off, it's only because of these friends and their support. Personal, work-wise efforts and emotional, most important, is what has brought me to the stage.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And just like you said, I'm scared to answer this question of yours. For the fear I'll be missing out many of my friends. In case if I miss out their names, it doesn't look good. That's really nice. So lots of love to all your friends, lots of respect to all your friends in India and across the world. And yes, sir. Special thanks to Mr. Chidambaram, sir, who has introduced you to the International Fab Talks. Thanks, sir.
I've known Chidambaram for the last, I don't know, what, 30 years? More maybe. 30 years. At least 30 years I've known him. And we ran into each other somewhere in some training program. And we are in touch.
That's really nice. So, now when you feel low, on certain occasions, we all feel low, or maybe on certain days, we don't feel okay. For no reason at all, when you rise up from bed, you feel having a hollow feeling or maybe a low feeling within. How do you get the strength, or from where do you get the strength to rise up and face the day? From where you derive strength to face the day on not, I mean, I hope you get what I'm trying to say.
I understand. I understand.
Yes.
All of us pass through such phases or have such attacks once in a while. You know, what really puts me off and stresses me out is in India somehow, another message I would like to give the youngsters. One of the biggest reasons why businesses and startups in India fail is our failure to meet deadlines. People are so casual about, I mean, take an example of punctuality. If somebody says he's going to come to me and meet me at 5 p.m. in my office, I wait for him in India till 5:15. I get out of my office. I say, you come and you go back. If you don't respect my time, you don't respect me. Now, this is just an example. But there are many bigger things that you want to achieve, and people keep failing on the deadline. I'll do it, yeah. Oh, ye ho gaya, this happened, that went wrong. I'll do it. You know, these stories upset me. And yes, even otherwise, sometimes without reason, you wake up feeling low or feeling depressed. Unless I have a tight schedule for the day, I don't get out of bed. I go back to sleep. That's one thing. I can sleep. Thank God, I can sleep 24 hours a day. So I go back to sleep. Simple. Otherwise, there are 2 or 3 people close to me whom I can just give a call and say, where are you? Okay, you're there. Either you get your butt over here or I'm coming there and I've got no word, but I want 1 hour of doing nothing with you. And I just go over and shout at him and scream at him and give vent to my feelings. And I'm okay. I'm lucky, very lucky to have such people in my life who tolerate me. And well, my family. Sometimes I tell them, hey, listen, I'm in a bad mood today. So don't mind what I say. They know me now for so many years. I'm fortunate to have these sounding boards in life. I just give vent to my feelings and frustrations.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing. Thank you so much. That's really nice. Thank you, sir. So, what do you have any weaknesses where?
Weaknesses. I mean, it's a funny question. Don't all of us have our weaknesses? I have many. I have many. For one, I'm a very emotional person. Many times I tend to mix emotions with work, and it doesn't work many times. It helps you to be passionate about your work, to love your work. And like you said, I don't retire, I enjoy, I do what I love to do. But I tend to mix emotions with the profession many times. Sometimes I think it's a weakness. I shouldn't be doing it. As a person, I'm a very emotional person. So maybe that's a weakness of today as well. Well, many more. I'm just naming one that comes off the top of my head. But all of us have weaknesses. I am a bundle of imperfections, as I said. I'm a bundle of strengths and weaknesses, and both being in equal measure.
Yes, I really like this when you say, no, I am a bundle of imperfections. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to be not okay too. But yes, we have to just work on our imperfections to be perfect, or maybe try to be the
None
best
of us is
version of
perfect.
ourselves.
None of us is perfect. None of us can be perfect.
Very true.
I mean, it's an old adage, never aim for perfection, aim for excellence. I mean, as long as I'm satisfied with what I have done, if I am satisfied, I'm happy.
Yes. Excellence. Dear sir, you get angry. You've already shared that with us. What are the reasons or what are the causes for you to, get angry or feel upset?
I cannot stand cheating in my life. I'm sure all of us have come across situations where I know the truth and I know the guy is lying to me, and then you have to keep a wooden face and listen to him or her. That is something makes me very angry. I mean, I don't understand why should you cheat? I mean, what is the reason? Why should one cheat? You want to make a few extra bucks? I mean, the point is you ask me for it, I'll give it to you. Why do you want to steal from me? In a relationship, I mean, if you want to cheat, then you're not in a relationship. It's wrong. Cheating is something in any way, whether it's in business, in work. I mean, a shopkeeper cheats you. I bargain with him. He gives me something at half the price. He says 100 rupees. I say 20 rupees. He gives it to me for 50. I don't like this. This is so. That's why my family members never allow me to go to buy something, because how much is this? 100 rupees. Okay, I'll bring it. 100 rupees. 20 rupees. I said, I can't do this bargain. You don't do it. I mean, he's cheated you. I can't help it. I get very angry when somebody cheats. I get very angry when somebody does not take their commitment seriously. I mean, you have made a commitment to me in business terms. You are going to deliver this thing to me by Monday next. If you're not able to deliver, I would expect your call on Sunday telling me that it's going to come on Wednesday. Then it'll be so. Problems can always arise. But when you call the guy on Tuesday, why have you not done it? I can't help it. There was no power. There was gang. Guys, people don't take their commitments seriously. It's something that makes me angry. And of late, something that has started making me extremely angry is, do you drive a car?
No, sir, I'm scared.
You're scared. Okay. Why are you? Okay. Exactly the point I was trying to make. When I learned driving, when an old lady would be crossing the road, I would stop my car, wait for her to cross, or get down and help her to cross, and then go my way. Today, you will see youngsters driving a bike, sports bike, BMW, abusing that old lady, or even knocking her down and going their way. It is the lack, again, I don't know, is it empathy? The lack of empathy and concern in the younger generation, I mean, when you're driving, it's not only your convenience. There are hundreds of vehicles on the road. So I mean, you have to take care of their convenience also. No, it's mine. It's like my safety is your responsibility attitude. Makes me angry. It's the attitude that makes me angry. Three things that came on the top of my mind I've shared with you. These three things drive me nuts. Cheating, lack of commitment to your commitment, lack of seriousness in your commitment, and the attitude of the youngsters. Driving on the road is an example, but this is the character that is building, or this is what our next generation is going to be, which is so tragic.
Yes, sir. We hope that there is a change in the mindsets of the youngsters to be very cautious while they are driving or riding or driving the vehicles.
Empathetic, not cautious. Have your fun. I have driven at 160 speeds. I've had my fun, but not at other people's cost.
So that's a beautiful message for all the youngsters. Dear sir, is there anything that scares you?
Scares me. There was a time when failure would scare me a lot. But these days, no, failure doesn't scare me. I think, I don't know, it's only the feeling of coming to a stage in life where physically and mentally you have to, emotionally you're always dependent. So I'm not saying emotionally. Physically and mentally you have to depend on someone to survive. That thought scares me. I mean, my only prayer to God is you've given me a life, full life, good enough, long enough. If you want to make me bedridden, take me away. That thought scares me.
Same here, sir. I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
As you grow, as you advance in age, probably this fear keeps coming, becoming
Yes.
stronger and stronger.
Very true. Very true. Dear sir, if you are not who you are today, with regard to the professional space or the profession that you are into, what else you would have become? If not this, then what?
This means what? Electrical engineer, was security, war, trading, marketing, HR handling 24,000 people. What? I mean, into manufacturing, make in India for high-tech wellness equipment, looking at innovators and scientists and trying to monetize their innovations for them. What else?
The medical stream?
Maybe, you see, I have been, even now, I'm an avid sports follower. Sports. Unfortunately, nowadays, there was no money in sports. Now, whenever I said I want to become a cricketer, I used to be a very good bowler. I stopped playing cricket after Dilip Vengsarkar smashed me out of the game. I mean, it was an intercollegiate match. I was playing, representing my college. Vengsarkar was representing Podar College in Mumbai. And he hit me out of the game. But that was an excuse because sports was not a career those days. There was no money in sports. And I came from not a very well-off, but a reasonably middle-class family, and where your objective was always to settle down financially in life. But if I was 18 years today, 18, 17, 16 years old today, and what I was when I was 16, 17, maybe I would have become a cricketer. Who knows? I may have been taken up by some IPL team. Who knows?
Could you just share something more about this cricket match that went on between you and Dilip Vengsarkar? What is this all about, sir? Like, because that was, pardon?
It was known as the Harris Shield tournament in Mumbai, intercollegiate. Harris Shield, I think, is inter-school. I even forget that. It was an intercollegiate match when he was a nobody and I was, in cricket, I have never been anybody. He was a nobody at that time. And he represented his college, I represented mine. I've never been hammered as a bowler the way I was by him. I used to bowl off spin and I was considered to be pretty good, and I could have represented Mumbai University at some point of time, but I gave up in between and to concentrate on my studies. It was just another intercollegiate match. And later on, this guy played Irani Trophy and hammered Vishen Singh Bedi. He was probably one of the best batsmen of spin in India. He has not spared spinners like Vishen Singh Bedi. So who is Alok Dheer?
You're very humble, sir. You're very humble. You're in down to earth. That's really nice. You have a lot of humility. That's really nice. So now let's take the match that took place recently between India and Australia, where India lost the match. How did you feel? Did you watch the match? And if yes, how did you feel?
I took the whole damn day off. I had organized a party at home in anticipation. It took me more. I've still not gotten over. It took me at least 5, 6 days to resume my normal life. It can't happen like that. How did it happen? Terrible. And again, the under-19 team lost to Australia yesterday. So
again, India lost, right?
Again, India.
Very sad.
What happens to these people in ICC tournaments? I don't know. The last time we won, I think, was 2013 Champions Trophy under Dhoni. I don't know.
Yes. Even yesterday, very sadly, India lost to Australia. That is the under-19.
Not lost, were licked by Australia, were hammered by Australia. Losing and winning is part of the game. The World Cup finals, India didn't lose to Australia. They were hammered by Australia. Yesterday, our boys did not lose to Australia. They were hammered by us. And that bugs me. 79 runs is no margin to lose in a one-day match, a 50-over match.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts and views, because I'm too a cricket buff and I don't watch the match, but I just try to get the scores and I just have an interest in that. And it really pained me yesterday to know that India lost once again to the Australians. Anyways, let's hope for a better future for our Indian team. Yes. As you said, you couldn't come over the shock of maybe, or the pain or the loss that India had to face, the defeat, as you say. They were hammered out by the Australians. It took for you 5 to 6 days to overcome that situation. Yes, until today also, it's still there, stuck in how did this happen? It is still there, yes. Why did it happen and how did it happen? Like, we are still, it's a puzzle that we are unable to understand.
I mean, throughout the tournament, you were the best team by far, by miles. What happened in that one match? There was no way you could lose that tournament. You were the best team by far. Everything was clicking. Your fast bowling, your spinners, your batting, your fielding, everything was perfect. What happened? Everything failed.
Very true. Still like mysterious and still unable to overcome the loss. No, we are still like.
These are the times when thoughts of match fixing come into your mind. Maybe the match was fixed. I don't know. How can we do it? I don't know.
Yes. So we'll shift our focus from sports now. It was very painful to discuss about India's defeat. We'll just overlook that now for the moment. You were also connected with cultural programs, as you mentioned, public speaking as a youngster. Would you like to share that journey too with us?
The journey began when I was in school. And as I said, I was the earlier part of my school, primary and secondary, I was a very shy person. And there was this principal of my school, one of my gurus, somebody I adore. He would force me to, we had a debate every month in school, an elocution competition every year. And there was this huge Bhai Putti Bhai Irani trophy. And then we used to have a Hindi elocution competition every 2 or 3 months. And this principal, I was terrified of him. I was terrified. And he used to force me to take part in every debate, in every elocution competition. And to such an extent that people, whenever they used to call my name, the other students would say, again, here comes this guy. And I was ordinary. Suddenly, I remember I was in standard 7 when I won the elocution. I was pretty creative. I used to write well. I used to write my own speeches. I never used to borrow, passages from Shakespeare or so. I used to write my own speeches. And I won it in standard 7. And I won it every year after that till I left the school. And I won every debate every month after standard 7 in school. I mean, maybe that 2 years of grind that my principal put me through shaped me. And I started speaking well. I entered dramatics. I'll never forget the full-length play we did in school. I was in standard 10. We did this play, Kabuliwala. I don't know if you've heard it's a story by Rabindranath Tagore, Kabuliwala. We did a full 3-act play, and I had the main role of Kabuliwala. Maybe that was a turning point in my life. Those years gave me a lot of self-confidence. And then in college, I was in Mumbai, and there is this IPTA, Indian People Theatres Association, where I was pretty successful in dramatics. And then, after I got into my first job, I joined the junior chamber, where I got a lot of opportunities to speak, and I further improved. Like Chidambaram, I got an opportunity and I was trained as a trainer. I must have conducted more than 2,000 training programs in my JC days. across 4 countries. Those days, I was very young. As I said, I traveled to Japan on the JC Youth Voyage. So I did programs in the Philippines, I did programs in Japan, India, of course. I became a trainer. I did. But I never looked at training as a career. Training was a passion. I used to do it. And well, that helped me a lot. I mean, even in my travels, later on, when I traveled, you have to make presentations, you have to present your profile and your capabilities. That experience stood me in extremely good stead. It helped.
Excellent, sir. Thank you so much for sharing. Sir, you've been connecting with round about 24,000 people. Would you like to
Uganda.
share that? Yes, yes. As to what was all of that? Was it a training session or what was it like? It's like still a mystery to me. I didn't get that clearly. So if you'd like to share that a little more in detail, it
I
would
will
be.
explain to you. You see, the Americans would want people, as I said, we used to send Ugandans to do various duties for them. So they had a certain camp, they would say, hey, we need 300 Ugandans here. Then there was a very elaborate process of selection, of vetting, medicals, of banking. Ugandans would not have passports, getting their passports. It's a very elaborate process. And so I would recruit 300 people. I would send them to certain, say, Iraq, say Al-Assad Air Base, to work for the Americans. Similarly, some places in Afghanistan, more other places in Iraq. Like this, I had 24,000 people from Uganda employed working for American companies in Afghanistan and Iraq. Managing their payroll, managing their vacations. Now, Americans are very strict, 11 months on, 1 month off. Now, when 400 people come on vacation, their security duty, those points are unmanned. So I have to give them 400 replacements. It was very elaborate management for which they paid me well.
Yes, I get it now. I understand. Thank you, sir. So maybe know your favorite proverb or a quotation that is very close to your heart.
I don't know if you had it in school. We used to have those autograph books we used to give to our teachers and schoolmates, for messages when we were leaving school.
Yes.
My school, I still have it. I still treasure the one I have. There's one quotation from that which has stayed with me since those days. It was written by one Major Reuben, who was our school superintendent in those days. I'll never forget Major Reuben. He's no more. The quote goes, when the one great scorer comes to write the scores against your name, he writes not whether you won or lost, but how you played the game. This has stayed with me, and that's what probably has sort of groomed me into focusing on the process of any work more than the result. Results come.
Yes. How you played the game? Did you play it honestly? Did you do it diligently? Did you do it passionately?
Did you cheat?
All of that. Yes.
I mean, you may have won the game, but how have you won it?
Very
It's
true.
more important than actually winning. When the one great scorer, other scorers may not matter. When the one great scorer comes to write the scores against you, he writes not whether you won or lost, but how you played. This stayed with me and will stay with me. This has helped me in my professional life too. The process is very important.
Excellent, sir. And thanks to Mr. Reuben, who has written that in your autograph book. That's really nice. And thanks for reminding us about the autograph books. It's really very nostalgic.
If you can find it, you'll be thrilled. You'll cry. I can promise you. Those memories will move you to tears.
Very true. Yes. Dear sir, among all the achievements that you've achieved till date, which one makes you feel the proudest? Wow, I've accomplished this, and this really makes me feel good even now.
I'll just give you a small example again. It's very difficult to choose which one. One of these people, Ugandans, I had sent to Iran. He was on a vacation. Now, for me, the people who came back were just a list. I never, interacted with anyone individually. One day, my secretary or a receptionist came to me and said, Barnes wants to, Walusimbi Barnes, and I remember his name. He wants to see you. I said, okay. I said, first I thought, who's Barnes? I said, okay, okay, send him in. He came in, hello sir, I'm here on a vacation. How are you? Big, hefty. I said, you're happy, you're safe. I said, perfect sir, I'm so happy. He said, sir, can you step out for a moment? I said, okay. He had carried his mother, she was an invalid, in his arms. She wanted to bless me for giving her son such a job. He had brought her in his arms to my office because she wanted to bless me. Now, could there be a bigger achievement or bigger satisfaction? And I've had a few such experiences. But this is one that will again stay with me till my last days. Walusimbi Barnes.
Thank you for sharing this beautiful experience. Thank you. You know, I could really visualize that, person holding his mom and like coming to you with the intention to bless you. She has come forward.
He just came to bless me. Because, see, his life was changed.
Excellent, sir. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. So, as you've been traveling across the world to several countries, and you have even crossed different continents as well, how many languages have you been able to catch or grasp?
Fluently, I speak
Like how many Indian languages and how many foreign languages?
5 Indian languages. I speak like with a reasonable level of fluency. Foreign languages, unfortunately, I learned at a stage in life. You know, like when you learn a language as a child, you remember it throughout your life. I learned these languages, but I'm out of touch. I can speak a smattering of Swahili, Uganda, 3 languages. Probably I can still speak. 2 African languages. One is Luganda, which is the language of Uganda. Swahili, which is predominantly spoken in Kenya and a lot of East Africa. And I picked up a bit of Dari. Dari, that is, it has its origins in Persian. But I can communicate to a shopkeeper, for example, in Dari. That's what I picked up in Afghanistan.
Yes. So the question now comes up like this. What if someone would like to be the next Alok Dheer? What suggestion or pathway would you share with them or, encourage them to follow to become the next Alok Dheer? Versatile.
My suggestion to the next generation is do not try to become the next Alok Dheer.
Reason, sir?
Become yourself.
Wow.
Each of us is born with immense capabilities. Look for opportunities that will encourage your capabilities to come out. Never be anybody else. Be yourself. Never be an Alok Dheer. After all, what is Alok Dheer? A bundle of imperfections. You can have lesser imperfections, learning from experiences of your elders.
Very well said. Thank you so much for giving that beautiful answer. You've given that so nicely, and you have encouraged everyone to be authentic, to be original, and not to imitate others. Find the originality in you.
And I'm trying to encourage them. You have it in you. Everyone has it in them.
Very nice.
You just have to break it down.
Yes. Dear sir, if you were to meet the Almighty, or if the universal energy or the universal power was to give, if they were to gift you a superpower and say that, yes, Alok, you could select your own superpower. You have the freedom to select the superpower. So like, what would you select if that was the case?
There's only one person I can think about. Somebody who is a master of planet, super strengths. Moreover, a person who is a god of love. I'm talking of Shri Krishna. Okay. I'm talking of Krishna. There is this beautiful reel I came about. I was just browsing through it. in Hindi they say कि हर माँ अपने बच्चे को प्यार से खाना पकाती है. When you become young in your society, when you fall in love and all that, they आपको कन्हैया समझता है. Okay. After that, it goes on, and it says कि this is about love, about masti, about fun, about mischief. Then it says five अनाथ बालक, 5 अनाथ बालकों को नेतृत्व दिया. He led 5 infants to defeat probably what was the greatest army in the world. And the message he gave to the earth is, that is the Bhagavad Gita, is probably more than 1,000 Nobel Prizes. I mean, this is what somebody said. It is wisdom, it is strategy, it is love, it is humility, it is mischief, all this rolled into one, practically, Lord Krishna.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, one very important question connected with the present times, that is mental health. When you were in the war zones, when you were connected with the people who worked with you with regard to the security and all of that, people from different countries, what was the mental state of those people who were under you when they had to go into the war zones, or whatever work that you assigned to them? They had to leave their country and travel to different countries. So what was the mental state? Were they willing, or did they push themselves forward to take up the challenges? And what impact that had on your mental health too?
Yeah, it did. It did. You see, as far as the Africans are concerned, for them it was a God-sent opportunity in terms of the job. So they were willing to take any risks and go there. They were happy. And the Americans provided for their mental health 11 years on, 1 month off. So the breaks were there. For someone like me, when I had to go to Afghanistan, I was 3 months on, 1 month off. That 1 month off was given for the mental health. Mental health is extremely important, and I'm glad in India we are realizing, we are hearing about mental health. We have, back in our days when we were managers in our corporations, nobody spoke of mental health. Today, mental health, there cannot be physical health without mental health. Mental health is the base of being healthy. The Americans discovered this long ago, and they made sure they took care of our mental health as well. I'll give you an example. In a war zone, there's war all around. There is a camp where the Americans stay, where they eat. They always have a center which is known as MWR. You know, if I was setting up a camp for the Americans, they would ask me, hey, specify the MWR. MWR means moral, welfare, and recreation. Every camp had a gym. Every camp had games like pool tables, like, stuff. Every MWR had a bar. Moral, welfare, and recreation was a very important part, or very important facility that you had to provide to the Americans in a war zone. So they took care of our mental health, and I learned to take care of my mental health from them. Mental health is the basis of all health, and I'm glad India is waking up to this fact these days.
Yes, sir. And we are really proud that you shared all of that with us, sir. As you said, that you are really glad that India is on the beautiful path of giving importance to mental health. It should start at home, and of course, even at the space or the place where we work. It should be prioritized at home, at school, and as well as our professional space too. So, we'd like you to empower, or I could put it in the right way, to enlighten or create awareness amongst all of us, especially the vulnerable. There are many people who don't understand that they are with the wrong person, or in the wrong situation, or with toxic people or toxic situations. They're unable to identify them before it's too late, or once it's like, they're here, they want to jump out of it, which is difficult. They're trapped into that. So before falling into that zone, what are the precautions one needs to take? If you'd like to share that, it would be really nice.
It is, you see, as I keep saying, we are changing as a society. We are talking about. 20 years ago, we would not even talk about. At least today, we are talking about toxicity in relationships. We're talking about getting out of a toxic relationship. At least we are talking about. You see, the problem is that it is never the head or the heart. It is always the head and the heart. You have to decide the balance. It depends on your nature, the way you are structured as a human being, the way you feel, your emotions. But it is always, we take many decisions with our head and we regret. Or we take many decisions with our heart and we regret. It has to be a decision of the head and the heart together. The one who learns the right balance will never face toxicity in his or her life. Now, this is an ideal situation. We have to minimize toxicity as much as possible. Toxicity at workplace, toxicity at home, toxicity with friends, toxicity in society, toxicity in our relationships, head and the heart.
Yes, thank you, sir, for sharing that. Thank you very much. So with regard to, a strange question now, like imagine we give you a time machine in your hand and we ask you to click one of the buttons that will take you into the past era. It's just an imaginary question. Imagine you're holding a time machine and at the click of a button, you're taken into the past era and the task over there is to live somebody's life and return back. That is relive somebody's life. So in that case, whose life you would select to relive and return back?
Very difficult question because you are forcing me to choose from thousands of people that I've read about or heard about. I think I'll stick to my earlier answer. You asked me about something and I would like to go back to Dwapar Yuga, not Treta Yuga. If you understand the difference, I do not want to become Maryada Purushottam. I want to be naughty and mischievous. I want to go to Treta Yuga, live in that relive the life of Kanhaiya, Kanha, and come back. Now, this is a hypothetical question, so it's a hypothetical answer. Difficult because choosing from thousands. But I'm talking of Lord Krishna as if, okay, it depends on whether you believe or you don't. But as somebody who did exist in those times. So I stick to the same answer. I'd go back, become Kanhaiya and come back in the present life.
That's really nice. That's a beautiful selection, sir. That's really nice. Thank you very much for sharing. Thank you so much. Dear sir, now this is something very important for all of us, constructive criticism. We receive it on and off from either our seniors or family members or near and dear ones. So how one should deal with constructive criticism? Is it really necessary or not?
If you are the recipient of criticism, first you have to decide whether it is constructive or otherwise. How do you differentiate between constructive criticism and criticism? Now, someone superior to me is not happy with the way I've done something. I may not have made a mistake, but he expected me to do it better. So there is a response. Is it a feedback that I could have done this better with quantitative suggestions? This is how you could have done this better, or it is just this is not the way to do it. This is the result I expected. Now, the second one, as I said, is just criticizing me, even if I'm not wrong. Constructive criticism is giving me feedback how I could be better with concrete suggestions as to how to do it. This is what I say. And criticism is a very important part of life. Criticism is feedback, whether it is constructive or otherwise. That's something for us to build up. Constructive criticism is extremely necessary because this is how people who know more than us in that field are teaching us or training us.
Yes, sir. You put that very nicely. You put it very simple, in a very simple way, but yes, crisply, but yes, lots of clarity. It's very necessary, constructive criticism to make us grow, because the people who give us constructive criticism may know more than what we know, and they want the very best out of us. That's really
Yes.
nice. Yes, sir. Are you a forgiving person? Do you forgive easily?
It it depends. You see, I don't. In one way, yes, I'm 100% forgiving person. I forget. Isn't hell with it. I don't want to burn my blood over it. But I'm not able to forget it so easy. So probably, if I forgive someone and I still carry the hurt in my mind, maybe I'm not a very forgiving person. What is the definition of being forgiving? I mean, don't take revenge. Is that forgiving? Don't take revenge on the person, but carry the hurt in your mind. Is that forgiving? Then I'm maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, I would place myself at 4 or 5. If not taking revenge and forgiving, then I would go to 7, 8, 1. But I very often carry the hurt in my mind, which is not good, but that's one of the drawbacks. I mean, how could somebody do this? You know, that's the type of thing you carry it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, sir. So we've come to an end to the main round of the interview. We have a small segment called as the rapid fire round. But before we go on to the rapid fire round, would you like to share something which I haven't focused my attention on in asking you? Have I left out any other important topic which you would like to share with us today?
I think you have been pretty exhaustive in the questions you have asked, from beliefs, a lot of personal life to professional life across the world, my school days to till now. So I think you've covered everything by and large.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So now we'll go on to the small round. It will take another 10 minutes. Thank you for sharing your time for, you've spent like more than an hour with us. That's really very nice. We'd like you to share now your thoughts and views and your likes and dislikes, in fact, on the small round. It will take just 10 minutes. It's a brief round where you'll have to answer either in 1 word, 2 words, or maximum a sentence. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Dear friends, we are now on to this beautiful journey of getting to know the likes and dislikes of our celebrity and guest. He is Mr. Alok Dheer, a person multi-talented, multitasked in different ways, and still doing his very best and wanting to make it in India. Make it in India is now the focus, and wanting to, see our flag rise high above and create a beautiful space for everyone on earth. Dear sir, the first question, your favorite breakfast?
Sunny side up.
What's that?
Sunny side up. Half fried eggs.
Okay, so that's something new. Could you repeat the name for us?
Sunny side up.
Okay, sir.
Half fried egg.
Okay, sunny side up. Okay, I get that. I get it. I get it.
You want it in 1 word, so I just have to throw it back at you like that.
Oh, sweet. I get it. I get that. I get it, sir. So, are you a tea or a coffee person?
Tea.
Black tea or milk tea?
Desi chai.
Yes, sir. Among all the 12 months, your favorite one?
Favorite month? December, January. Cold months.
Yes, sir. Maybe know your birthday?
28th of April.
Wow. Okay, that's really nice. You're a Thorian?
Yes.
That's really nice. Thank you for sharing. That's really nice. So, among all the 7 days, your favorite one?
Like everybody else, Sunday.
Oh, sweet. Your favorite number?
8. No reason. Don't ask me why.
Sure, I will not ask you. Yes, sir. So, has there been a moment in your life where you felt, oh, I wasted my money on buying this particular item? A material item.
Hundreds of times.
Any one which you could remember?
Cell phones.
And after that, what a waste. I wasted my money on it.
Nonsense. Many times.
Many times. Yes, sir. So, you believe in comfort or style?
Comfort or style. Style, but gradually moving towards comfort as advancing with advancing age.
Yes. Your favorite snack?
Snack. I'm not much of a foodie, but South Indian.
You believe in second chance?
Yes. The first time you make a mistake, it's a mistake. Second chances are deserved.
Yes. The insect that you don't like?
Insect.
Insect.
I wish Noah had swatted those two mosquitoes.
Got it. I get it. I got that. Yes. The Noah's Ark. I mean, there was a time when everything was put into that ark and then there was a deluge and all of that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I get that. You put it very humorously, but yes, the message is clear. So you believe like it's easier to text or to call? Texting or calling?
Texting is convenient. If I have to convey a message to you, I send you a text. If it's urgent, I call you. But texting is convenient.
Yes. Are you a morning person, an early bird, or a night owl?
Night owl. Night owl.
Salty, sweet, spicy, or sour food?
Sweet all the way. With about 26 sweet teeth, not a sweet tooth. 26 left, so 26 sweet teeth.
Yes. Which is the one that you really like to eat? Like, is it the one which you get in Maharashtra or any other part of India? With sweet.
Sweets, I think, are universally needed. I mean, a jalebi is a jalebi, whether it's Maharashtra or Telangana or Tamil Nadu or wherever. For example, laddu is a laddu. Kalakand is a kalakand, burfi. Call it by different names. It is the same thing.
No favorites. Like all your sweet is like any sweet is okay.
Generally. Milk-based sweets, yes.
So as you've been in Uganda, like what is the main sweet over there?
Indian sweets, a lot of Indian restaurants.
Okay. Any specific one which the Ugandans prepare?
Not as far as sweets are concerned, but Ugandans have chapati as one of the staple foods. They have samosa. I mean, these are the names used in their language. They make it differently, but these things are there. Sweets, no. They're not, I mean, their food doesn't have salt and doesn't have sweet. I mean, it's bland food.
Yes. Dear sir, you believe that life is all about happiness or money?
Well, happy.
Yes, sir. My dear friends, I guess we have a small technical snack. Sir will be back with us. Yes, sir. There was a slight technical snack. We couldn't hear you.
Okay. I could give you the standard stock answer, happiness. Okay. But if you have no money, can there be happiness? Being practical. When I say happiness, I include money.
Very true. I get that. Yeah. You have a lot of wisdom, you see. The way you're sharing your answers. Yeah.
I avoid giving stock answers, but because that's why maybe I get into a lot of details and explanations and I take a bit longer. But well, that's how it is.
Yes. Dear sir, when you mentioned that as a kid, as a little child, you were an introvert. How do you look at yourself today? An introvert, extrovert, or an ambivert?
I don't know. I would not in between.
An ambivert.
Yeah,
A mix of both.
I put it the right word, yes.
Yes, sir. So when you're all alone with no gadgets around you, nor any books, no pen and paper as well, no people around you, you're alone in a room, you're connected to your thoughts, you have nothing to do, you just begin to think, and then if you are connected to your thoughts, where do your thoughts take you? Into the past, or is it connected to the very present? You are connecting yourself then and there, or you're deep into the future?
It depends on the time frame. If it is like a few hours, my mind is blank, I relax. I relax, rest my body, rest my mind. If it is longer, maybe I write articles in my mind. Maybe I set up things. Maybe I write an autobiography. Maybe I write an essay on some subject. And maybe when I get time, When I'm back to my gadgets, my phone or my laptop, I make a post. Maybe it's a LinkedIn post or maybe whatever. I think a lot. I mean, I don't dwell on the past and I don't take too much stress about the future. Future is only as far as planning is concerned. Thinking about it, whether I should do this and how I could do this, whether I could do it in a better way. Other than that, I don't stress about the future.
Yes.
I relate to experiences and try to create articles in them.
Yes.
Even if I don't write them out, I keep them with me.
You believe in socializing or me time?
Oh, well, till about 10 years ago, active socialization. Today, 80% me time.
Are you a beach person or you'd like to stay in a forest and spend time?
Hill person, mountains person, hill person.
That's
I don't like the weather, where the best beaches are. Whether it's Cape Town or Mombasa or Goa or Kerala. The weather around here is, I'd rather be in Shimla or Manali or.
Yes. So, as you've been connected with cultural programs, so where did you see yourself as a singer, as a dancer, or you enjoyed singing and dancing as well?
Singing and dancing, not much. Dramatics, acting, yes. I could have made a career. Though I never thought about it. Like, I'll give an example of Chidambaram, a passion, thing. Converted it into a full-time profession. He's doing well. I did not. Regret it.
Yes. Do you love to eat ice creams too?
Ice cream. I never grew out of chocolates and ice cream. I never grew out of these two things. I love them more than my children or maybe more than the kids I know, little ones I see around. I never ever grew out of chocolates and ice creams.
Yes, that's a beautiful way to share that. That's really nice. I never grew out of these two things, chocolates and ice creams. If it was ice cream, like what flavor would you prefer?
Indian flavors, I would say, I love the saffron flavors, or what do you call it, kesar, or not so much the butterscotch types. Worst case, if nothing is available, simple vanilla. I can gorge on vanilla ice.
So, how would you describe a beautiful day in just one word?
Beautiful day. Oh, it's a day in heaven. Heaven. I've had such days. Everything goes right. And you're so happy. Heaven.
Yes. Have you learned this life skill, cooking?
I'm glad my family members aren't around. I jokingly tell my family members, I can cook. I can cook tea. I can cook a boiled egg. I can cook a buttered toast. I can cook. That's about it.
Yes, I get that, sir. Dear sir, the name of your favorite teacher when you were in school?
Oh, wow. I will never ever forget my principal. I was a student of Boys Town Public School in Nashik, in Maharashtra, which is about 180 kilometers northeast of Mumbai. I was in that school. I spent 8 years there. We had a principal. He was a Parsi gentleman, Bejan Desai. He spoke fluently. He spoke, was English. He was a master. He spoke Gujarati. He spoke French. He spoke Persian. He spoke Sanskrit. He was an authority on all the religious scriptures, the Bible, the Avesta, the Quran, the Gita. In fact, I'm proud to say that today I can recite. I'm not a Muslim, by the way, not that it matters. But today I can recite verses from the Quran that many Muslims cannot recite. I'm proud to say this, what I learned from this gentleman in school. I can recite one full adhyay, 13th chapter, 13वां अध्याय of the Gita. I still know it by heart. I still can recite prayers from the Bible and the Avesta, that is the Parsi Holy Book. Thanks to the teachings of this great man. He was my principal, my guru, and my teacher, Mr. Desai. Inspiration.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for sharing all of that. Thank you very much. Giving respect to all the religions. Yes, sir. So, till date, the precious gift that you ever received, till date.
Precious gift.
You might have received
Gift
many
of
gifts.
life.
Oh,
Gift of life. It cannot be any better gift.
the gift of life is really the unique one and the most
God has
important.
been very kind to me. He has given me two wonderful gifts. One is the gift of life. And well, the other gift you can imagine. I'm very happy. He's been very kind to me.
Yes. That's really nice, sir. We've had a wonderful time sharing the space with you, getting to know you as a person, getting to know your thoughts and views, and of course, the experience, that rich experience that you've had on the professional front, sir. Looking forward to many more interactions. Before we sign off, one last request. We'd like you to give us now 3 gifts in the form of 3 words. Apart from please, sorry, and thank you, we would like you to share 3 powerful words with us today on the International Fab Talks before we sign off.
Success, empathy, love.
Super. Success, empathy, and love. That's really very nice, sir. That tells us much about your entire personality. When you share these 3 words, it speaks volumes about the person who shared it. So you believe in success, you believe in empathy, and overall, the third one is love. So these are the 3 beautiful sharings that you've given us as gifts. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, first of all, for your time, and looking forward to many more interactions with you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's been a pleasure to be with you on this show, on this talk show. I've not done many of these. I hope I will live up to your expectations. I too look forward to meeting you again in future.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a lovely time. God bless. Stay blessed. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. We've been really connected with a beautiful guest who has a beautiful mind of connecting with people in different ways. There's a lot of empathy being shared over here, like how he was connecting with different people across the world, and a lot of wisdom as to how we should take our life forward and how we should have a lot of humility and no ego. Only then we can reach our goals very soon. So with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks. If you like what we are doing, stay connected with us, bond with us, and share this video with the right kind of people who would really love to listen to all the beautiful sharings that have been shared today. Like, subscribe, and comment as well. And feel one with us. Stay safe, stay blessed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.